Welcome back to another episode of Two Average Husbands. I am your host, Jake.
I'm your host, Kyle. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. Sorry, we are almost exactly 1 hour late. Jake, happy birthday. We're going to have to hear the story about the eye.
You are. You're gonna have to hear about the little shiner that I'm flaunting today.
Splitting the shiner.
I have a little bit of a theme for today's episode. I went cake themed a little bit. So we're gonna start off with Hailstorm Brewing's key lime cheesecake sour. That was a mouthful. 8.5%. Good old sour brewed with key lime, milk sugar, graham cracker, and vanilla.
We talked about this already, but you've had the key lime pie bang, right?
I have. It's delicious.
Super, super good. If you're a key lime pie drinker, it is delicious.
I hadn't had it when we talked about it previously, but I've since had it.
Okay, yeah, it is really good. All right, I'm gonna start off with. God, I don't even know what the name of this is. I think it's called Sunbelt Swing, but there's like different things all over this label. But it's the Sunbelt Swing from Superstition Meadery. Cranberry, orange, honey, vanilla.
And it's a mead?
It is.
You and your canned mead. I feel like that's against the law.
Well, I went to Total Wine, as always.
Standard.
And they had an entire section dedicated to mead this time. And I was like, I like mead. I like the meeting room.
I'm a mead
Not
guy.
sponsored. I'm going to have some mead.
Not sponsored. Wish we were. Hey, meeting room. If you're out there.
Did we ever look? Do they have a Twitter account?
I have no idea. I would assume so. They have to. With merch this fire, there's no way you don't have a social media account. Carly's coming in for
That's like the bottom of it. Yeah, dump all that in there. These the mead ones have I don't know if it's the honey.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what it is, but they're
bees...
kind of thick at the bottom.
You're probably supposed to invert the can before you pour it.
Probably. I don't know.
Dave says in the chat that he said it looks like it hurts, so he feels bad now.
Holy crap! This chat has been going for a while, huh? Sorry, Dave.
Yeah,
Welcome to the pod.
Dave, Wyatt, and I were just shooting the shit for a while, but so yes, we have to talk about it. I can't just show up to the podcast with a black eye and not at least explain a little bit about what happened.
Bingo. Definitely not gonna let you off the hook like that.
So my birthday was actually 5 days ago, last Friday, and to commemorate my birthday, myself and the fellow writers and content creators over at JWB Fantasy Football went on a little retreat to our boy It's Just Fantasy's lake house in Ohio. And, plenty of beverages were partaken in over the course of about 72 hours. And that culminated, with a round of golf. I was eating popcorn, got little kernels, just chilling. So commemorated with a round of golf. And I want to say we were on about hole 11 or 12. Weren't drinking that much. Weren't intoxicated really or anything. But we were playing a scramble. Now, for those of you who are here and don't know golf terminology, in a scramble, depends on how many people you have, but everybody hits a shot. You pick the best shot of that group, and then you all play from that shot, and you repeat that every single time. It's a way to make the game a little bit more fair if you're playing with varying skill levels, and we had 8 total people who were playing, so it was 2 teams. So we were basically playing a little match against each other. So we had all hit the scramble. We'd all hit our shots. Our friend Wyatt was the head of JWB, one of the founders over there. He was the last person in our group to hit. He's a solid golfer. I was pleasantly surprised, with the skill level of everybody that we were playing with, but he wasn't unfortunately, Dave, we did not win. That's another story that you may hear on this podcast. Wyatt topped the ball. Basically what that means is when you're swinging, you hit the very top of the ball, it doesn't go very far. It's basically just creates a little bit of front spin. It goes about 8 feet. So my head goes, everybody's already hit. I'm just going to walk forward, pick up this ball for Wyatt so he doesn't have to. Just trying to be a fella. And that was as much, this whole situation is as much my fault as it is anybody's. But he just pops another ball out of his pocket just to swing and get we were all doing it all day. So it's it's not, it was by no means his fault alone. So he just pops another ball out of his pocket, swings, And all of a sudden, it was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me because I was just like, why is my ear ringing? And then I heard the golf ball hit the golf club. And then I heard the golf ball hit my face. And then I felt it. So you can see like where the main point of impact was. I've got this nice bruise here.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is dangerously close to killing you.
That's what we were talking about. We were like, we probably...
Like, no kidding. Like, it did some pretty serious damage to your face. And if it would have hit you, like, dead in the temple, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's a relatively decent chance, like, even if it didn't kill you, right? Like, you would have had some, like, brain damage or something.
Probably.
Maybe you're already brain damaged, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. But either way, it's kind of crazy.
I have had what my doctor called a concerning amount of concussions. But, like, I don't know. It obviously, like, swelled up right away and it hurt. But it wasn't like I didn't get knocked out. I didn't black out from it. Like, I remember everything that happened. I remember the entire sequence. Our buddy Matt then threw his shot to 6 feet and made the putt. So we didn't even have to swing to finish the hole. But we played our best golf of the day after that. But yeah, it was just like it was a once in a lifetime way that this would ever happen. In that we were all doing something all day, and then like 3 of us had a brain lapse all at the same time. Like, it was just a complete accident. And Wyatt was talking about it, like I was trying to make him feel better afterwards because I could tell like how shaken he was from it, and I'm like, yeah,
Oh, yeah, that'll fuck a person up, dude.
Oh, 100%.
You ding them in the dome with a fucking golf ball, and they're gonna
Yeah,
feel pretty weird.
from like 8 feet. Luckily, he wasn't our boy Tony's friend, or I might be dead because that guy was striping 300-yard drives like it was his job. I had like 2 that rolled out to about 300 on the day that we lasered back to the tee box, but it was it was certainly a day. And so yeah, it hit back here. Yes, it was close to my temple, but I also was wearing sunglasses, so it was never gonna really hit my temple. But I do have the ball somewhere. I should go find it. It's in my bag.
The boy
But
who lived. That's what you should call that ball.
The boy who lived. The best part is there's a line on the ball from where it hit my sunglasses. There's like a black line on the ball. So yeah, so it's got the little Harry Potter scar on the ball too, which makes it even better.
Perfect.
But yeah,
Put that in,
that's
like, ball frames.
that's what I was saying. I was like, I should shadow box it and throw it up on the wall. But yeah, that's why Jake has a black eye on this episode. We were smart though, got ice on it right away, popped a couple ibuprofen, maybe a couple Mick Ultras immediately after too. Who knows?
That'll do it. That'll help you out. Not Bud Light Next though.
The golf course did not have Bud Light Next,
Shame.
but I drank those when we got back to the house
Nice.
because the house had them.
Dave, as always, active in the chat. I'm trying to catch up on a lot of the things that you've been saying while I was gone. I don't know that I'm going to make fun of you for not making sense, but I will make fun of you for like this very close sexual encounter that the 2 of you guys had in the chat while I was gone. So if anybody's not watching this on YouTube, I know you are obviously right at this second. But in the future, viewers, if you're not, you need to go to the chat on YouTube and look at this weird fucking conversation these guys had while I was trying to get rid of
Hey,
it.
man.
All right. Anyway, Jake, you got hit in the face, but you had a good trip. What do you want to talk about for your birthday?
I want to talk about how just cool it is to be alive, right? After a near-death experience. No, man, I don't know. I just it was a fun birthday. Like, even though it was a trip and like it was like the one I spent with you guys out there. Like, it was just super chill. Like, nothing. Like, we didn't have to do anything crazy. We're not going out to clubs or anything like that. Like, we're a bunch of now old people. I say that I turned 27, so it's not like I'm that old. But yeah, like, it was just super chill. We were all basically in bed by 11:30 every night. It's what happens when you start drinking at 9:30. But
It's true.
hey. Yeah, no, it was just super chill. I don't know. The coolest thing that is on my mind is I'm about to redo my office this weekend. So this room is going to look very different next time you see it. It's going to look even more different if I actually paint it like I'm planning on.
Yeah.
Gotta convince myself that it's worth it. But the closet desk dream is dead. There will be no closet desk anymore.
I never thought that was a good idea. I think you thought that was going to be a good idea.
With the original idea of the room, it made more sense with how we're transitioning the room because we have a lot of dogs. We're potentially adopting a 4th dog here. Shout out to my boy Ernest, but
It's too many dogs.
it's not too many dogs.
It's too many dogs.
You had 4 cats. It wasn't that hard.
I had 4 cats and it was hard.
It wasn't
And
that hard.
I can't even say that it was hard because really Carly was the one that was taking care of the 2 Fosters because I was gone most of the time that they were in the house. But four cats was challenging. I mean, a lot of the challenges came from the fact that our cats don't really like other cats that much, so we had to keep them separated all the time, and you have to do like cater, whatever. It's weird, but point is, it was also if we need to defer back to the cat versus dog debate, we can revisit that whenever you want. But cats are a lot easier than dogs, so
It wasn't that hard. We're used to having a ton of dogs around. It's not extremely difficult. Plus, this dog that we're potentially adopting, he gets along great with our three, so it makes life a whole lot easier. And then one of our fosters is about to get adopted. One of our fosters we may just foster her forever. Who knows at this point? She's a bit of a wild dog. She's a great dog.
All I'm saying is, as your dog amount having increases, and your video game playing goes down, and you become Dane 2.0, and I'm calling him out right now, I'll kill you.
It won't
I'll
happen.
fly to Illinois, and I'll kill you.
Bro, wait till you hear what I'm about to do with this office, and you'll realize that the video game production out of me is only going to increase. Sorry, Jess, if you're listening. But yeah, so we're going to go with the kind of the basic bitch IKEA desk, doing like the Alex drawers with the tabletop that they make.
Okay.
Gonna paint this room some shade of gray, thinking like a kind of like a dark gunmetal kind of gray. Get rid of the. This is green. It doesn't really look green.
It does look gray on camera.
Yeah, this is it's like a hunter green, like a dark green color. So the desk is actually gonna go over there where the couch used to be. The couch is currently on my curb. If anybody wants it, it's free. Come get it. Nothing wrong with it.
What is? Sorry.
My couch. The couch that used to be over here.
Yeah.
So the desk is actually going to go on that wall with the window behind it, so I don't have to deal with like buying lighting strips or anything. I just get the natural light from that. Then my work desk is going to go on this wall, which is directly like this side wall that connects right up to the closet. So that's going to be the work setup, the game setup. In the corner over there where you see that black shelf is going to be this beer fridge, which is right here. And then the bar.
Oh, your second fridge?
Yeah. This fridge. Let me adjust the cam for those who are watching. There you go. That beer fridge right there is going to go at the end of the desk. And we measured it out, and the IKEA desk or the IKEA tabletop with this desk and the beer fridge comes out to like almost perfectly snug. So
nice.
That's even more clutch.
I really hope you're going to have like a perfect fit moment when you actually go to put this together and like it all just fits like you think. But generally speaking, I feel like every time that I've ever like measured anything, then like this is going to work perfect. It never works.
You know that saying like measure twice, cut once? Yes, still doesn't work. No matter how many times I measure, still something goes wrong. But yeah, and then the weightlifting stuff is going to just kind of like shift down a little bit. The wine fridge may get moved into Jess's office because her office is now set up, which is, we're going to paint her office, which is what's prompting me to just send it on mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a nice little new setup. Hopefully going to be nice and conducive to some high kill dubs on Warzone and Apex Legends. And
I hope so.
I sure hope so too. Have you thought out what your new office is going to look like, Kyle?
I roughly know, but spoiler alert for the crowd. Jake is going to have to help me set it up in person, live on demand.
Yes, I am. We should almost stream it. That'd be hilarious.
We can do like a vlog kind of style thing, which is completely fine with me. It might be kind of lame. To
Content.
vlog it,
Content, baby.
say, but I'm down. If the people in the chat, aka Dave, Uncle Kyle, and I don't know why it's here anymore, but if they want to see us,
It's about why it's bedtime.
in person hanging out together, feel free. Let us know. We'll take some videos of that. Really quick. Dave in the chat, you're wrong about cats versus dogs. Trust me, I grew up a dog person. I now am a cat person, but technically I'm a both person. Like I do love dogs, but I don't have one anymore, and cats are very, very fucking easy. So we can have that debate as much as you want, Dave, some other time. How would you need to hire someone to fucking put together an IKEA desk, Dave? That's embarrassing. Learn to read some instructions.
IKEA instructions are a lot easier than IKEA stores. Let's just clarify that here. In the store, I understand getting lost. They got the coffee station. You can get some Swedish meatballs up in there. I get it. But also, Dave, this basic IKEA desk setup is you get 2 sets of. Actually, let me just pull up a picture of it and share screen. That'll be easier.
Dave says he's incompetent in the chat. I don't believe that. I don't buy it.
No, I thought you were Dave. Dave, you're not incompetent, Kyle.
God damn it, that's the worst.
Ha!
Ever.
Wrecked. 27. I'm just getting started, baby. But yeah, let me pull up. So they have these drawers that are called the Alex drawers. In fact, I can probably just go to the Alex drawer, and I think they have like fan submitted photos that are on there for the desk. Let me see. Be a lot easier than trying to put up like some random gamer YouTube video, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do that anyway. So let me share screen here. Get ready for a brief moment of inception.
Inception.
Bop, bop. There we go. Got it out of the way quick. So this is the Alex drawer. So I'm gonna get 2 of these, one on each side. And then
I don't know what this feels like to me. Like, this feels like a YouTube tech review or something. I don't know. This feels terrible, though. Like, the fact that we're looking at an IKEA website right now. And
hey, man.
It just feels wrong.
And then I'm going to get this tabletop right here. This
I like that
nice.
tabletop. That's
I
nice,
do.
yeah.
I know. That's why I went with this one. Because, like, I was going to do my own. I was just going to buy butcher's block. But that was only because I was going to have it, like, perfectly cut to this closet.
Yeah.
And now that I'm not doing that, I don't need to go through that extra effort.
The one thing that really blows about butcher's block is it's fucking expensive, dude. Like,
Yeah.
$200 for like a chunk. What's the size on that?
That is,
4
it's
by 1.5.
74. It's 1.5 inches thick.
Why do they have to put it in inches? Give me like when you get into over 12 inches, give me feet.
Yeah, it's, yeah. So what? That's 7 feet 2 inches, and then 1.5 inches thick. I don't remember how deep it is.
6.16 feet.
Did I say 7?
You did.
Good morning. And then it's about 25 5/8 inches deep. So it would actually be kind of close to fitting in this closet if I wanted to do that, but I don't want to do that anymore. So I was thinking about turning the.
Really nice, though.
I was thinking about turning the closet into a bar, which might be pretty cool. I'm also gonna try and find. Here we go, IKEA desk. So it's gonna be something like this. This, I believe, is like the longer version. This is This is probably closer. Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's nice.
I'm still torn whether or not I'm gonna do the black ones or the white drawers.
Black.
So that's,
No question.
well, yeah, probably.
Black.
So yeah,
100%.
so the setup will look something like this generally. Finally have some good
That's
cable
nice.
management for the first time in my life.
It's nice and it's simple. It's super fucking easy for you to put that together.
Yeah, you literally have to do nothing. The
Drawers, table. Boom.
the tabletop is heavy enough that you don't have to like really attach it anywhere. Like you can, but it's not required by any means.
Do they have like mounts on top of those drawers where they have like a connection point for
Just
a
like
desk?
little rubber things. What a
They
lot
don't
of
have
people
an actual, like mounting point though.
no, what most people do is most people buy, like, go on Amazon and buy spacers and then just drill the spacers into that and then drill through the desk into the spacers.
Okay.
A lot of people actually don't even drill through the desk into the spacers because it's so thick. But yeah,
Okay.
I think it's going to be, I don't think I'm going to do spacers on it. I think it'll be tall enough based off of my like preliminary measurements of where I like to have my desk height.
Preliminary. That's a good word.
Thank you.
Nice throw in.
That's what I'm here for. I'm actually here for content. But anyways,
Here for the beer.
here, yeah.
Cheers.
It tastes better when you slurp it. Shout out Ty
I think
Carlson.
that's very true with coffee, and Carly hates that I believe that.
It's just one of the guys that we grew up with would say it every time he would, once he got drunk, every time he sipped his beer, he would slurp it and he'd be like, tastes better when you slurp it. I'm like, thanks. I've heard that 84 times tonight.
I don't know if I
appreciate it."
believe it for beer, but
I don't
do think
believe
it's
it at
true for
all.
Coffee.
Uncle Kyle says in the chat that he both wishes there was an IKEA near him and he's getting the itch for another dog. Well, Uncle Kyle, if you want to adopt a dog, hit up Rescued Rascals out here in Illinois. You'll have to drive out here to get the dog, but we can make something happen.
We go through phases where we kind of feel like we want a dog. Because, again, I grew up a dog person, so I've always
Right.
kind of like wanted to have a dog. And then we got our foster dog that we took care of for a short period of time. Ugh, not for us anymore, I don't think. I think I'm, more into the lifestyle of cats now. But anyway, just circle all the way back to what Jake and I were talking about before. I'm moving.
Yes, you are.
So,
Get out of that Tucson sun.
status update. My house in Arizona is sold, although that I'm sitting in it presently. I am leasing back from the person that bought my house for the time being. So I am currently living in somebody else's house, which is a little bit weird now that I don't own this house anymore. Also, I guess technically the bank always owned the house. But anyway, I'm living in somebody else's home now, which is a little bit strange. But not only did I sell this house, but part of the reason why we had a delayed podcast tonight is because I was closing on my new house, which turned out to be a ginormous clusterfuck. But
Standard.
anyway, we can talk about that as much as you do or do not want to. I don't care. It's your birthday podcast. But
I'm here for the
point that I'm
tea.
getting to is that Jake and I basically drunkenly told him, hey, you're going to fly and come and help me move. And I was kidding. I would not thinking anybody was going to take it serious. Why would you fly across the country to help somebody move?
Because it's also a vacation.
Jake move. But anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to vacation to Illinois. I'm down to vacation in where you're moving to.
So anyway, Jake says I'm on board. So I hit up the boy Dane because he's going to live very close to me soon. And I said, hey, dude, you going to come help me move? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? I was like, holy shit, this is happening. The best part about this is what Jake doesn't know yet. Maybe you do know. I can't remember if I told you this or not. My mom is flying into town, into Arizona to help me move there, right? And so, yeah, I did already tell you this.
Yeah.
So my mom's going to be here, and she's going to help us pack and move and everything. Well, I called my mom today, and I was like, hey, Mom, so I know you were going to, like, hang out with us and, like, move out to the new house and everything like that. Do you care if my boys, Jake and Dane, show up and hang out with us while we're out there? And she's like, the more the merrier.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God.
what we love to see.
So my mom's pumped too. But my mom did say they need to be ready to get down to business, get this house moved,
Bro,
and then we can have some fun.
I'm gonna wake up and you guys are gonna be like, Jake, it's too early for this shit. I'm like, nah, let's fucking go. I'm gonna get off the plane. I'm gonna park at your house. I'm just dropping my bag on the curb and we're getting shit in the house.
We moving.
We are moving.
You know, the one thing that terrifies me is my new house has wood floors, like real wood floors,
That's tough.
and it freaks me out a little bit. I'm moving to California, Dave. Yes, you can come help me move if you want to come all the way from Canada, and I'm hyped too. To answer all of his series of comments there. But the reason that I brought it up again in general is because Jake said, do I know what my office setup is going to look like, or desk setup or whatever? Yes. So here's the dope news. So my new house, I was looking around the house. We went and we flew out to California, my wife and I, and we were looking for, just when we bought our house in Arizona, we bought sight unseen. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but basically I didn't have the chance to fly out here to look at houses ahead of time. So we just had to like Zillow it and trust our realtor, and we bought a house. We got lucky. Everything worked out fine. I wasn't willing to do that for the next house for a couple reasons. One of them being the extreme price out there. But anyway, we took a trip. We flew out there. We're like, yep, we're going to look at houses. We're going to check everything out. We looked at 18 houses in a 2-day period.
I was gonna say you were only gone for a couple days. That's a lot of houses.
Cruising, man.
That's more houses than I've ever looked at.
Thank you to my realtor, Tim, out there. Tim Helton at Welton Realty, which sounds a little weird. But anyway, thank you, Tim.
First unofficial official sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah, he just added me on Facebook. I'm gonna have to like tag him and be like, sponsor my podcast, please. But anyway, he showed us 18 houses.
I will do an ad read every episode for a firm high five and a t-shirt.
Yeah, right. And I can recommend my lender as well. My lender's badass. But anyway, after we get to it, right, we're going through the motions. We're going through everything. Day one, we see a couple things that are okay, nothing great. Like, dang, we need to like find something good because we wanted to put an offer on a house while we were there, obviously, because if we didn't do it while we were there, the chances of us like being able to come back out and look at more houses were pretty slim. All right, so it's day two. We're looking at houses again, and really, like, day two was supposed to be a cleanup day. Like, we were only going to look at a couple of houses, and we ended up driving all over the fucking places and looking at the rest of the houses that we looked at. House comes on the market the day that before we're going to leave. And so my realtor's like, hey, this one just came up on the market as well. We might as well just go check it out, right? We're like, yeah, absolutely. Why not? It's in the area that we like. Drive over there, walk into the house, and it wasn't even the last house we ended up looking at that day, but we walk in and immediately we're like, ooh, this is nice. We like this. This is what we're looking for. Walk around, we're like, ooh, this is exactly what we're looking for. This like it's a little bit. I will say it's a tiny bit smaller than what we wanted, but it's still bigger than the house we have now, so it works. And we had a couple things like to compromise on, right? Like one of the things for us is we didn't have storage space in the house we live in now, so we were going to get a third garage stall, or we needed an extra bedroom, and so that was like a no, no compromise line for us. We needed more storage space. So we walk in this house. It's got a 3-stall garage, and it's like a better sized garage than ours here, because ours is like super shallow here in order for storage, that kind of shit. And we're just looking around and we're like, this is it. This is the house. And so we're like, fucking A, we got to get an offer on this bad boy. My realtor's like, but I still have like 3 more houses to show you. We're like, we got to get an offer on this bad boy. He's like, let me show you these other houses. And I'm like, okay, fine. Drive around, look at the last few houses, and then we put an offer. But the greatest thing about this house, not really, might not be the greatest. One of the greatest things about
the greatest thing for Kyle at this very moment while we're talking about it.
So what they did is in a 3-stall garage, right? So you have your what a 3-stall generally looks like is you have your one big garage door for the 2 cars, and then you have a third or a second smaller garage door for the 3rd stall. So the previous owners of the house were like, we don't need 3-stall garage, and they closed off that garage door, put a regular ass entry door, and built walls and turned it into an office. So inside my garage, there's this full-on 4th room that they've converted to an office. Well, my wife, bless my wife, goes,
shout out Carly,
that is your space. You get it. Man cave. Do what you want. So I'm going to go out there, ball the fuck out. It's going to be my gaming space plus the podcast space. Speaking of, Jake and I need to have a discussion about new merchandise, aka I need a banner that's going to sit behind me while we're podcasting that says 2 Average Husbands, so we need to figure that out.
I have a TV. I can do virtual banner. There's not really a spot for me to hang an actual banner as of right now.
Behind your head right now, fool.
By next episode, I'm going to have a completely different outlook.
Anyway.
We'll figure it out.
All I'm saying is it's going to say 2 Average Husbands behind me for the podcast. We're going to figure that out.
I love it. We'll make it work.
Stoked about it. And it's got like its own, like the window air conditioner units or whatever. It's got one of those for that room specifically, because obviously you don't usually cool your garage, so HVAC didn't run out there. But A, it doesn't get as fucking hot as Tucson, so thank God. But
Facts.
B, I'm gonna have my own little air conditioner out there, so I'm gonna have home office / gaming space / podcast space in my own little area in the garage. I'm stoked about it. Do I know the layout specifically? No, I don't. We'll figure that when you're there helping me. And in response to what everybody said, yeah, we'll throw some videos out there. We'll live stream part of this. Jake and I will probably irritate Carly because she's gonna be like, let's get to work and do things, and we're gonna be like, 2 Average Husbands, yo, while we're filming ourselves. But we'll make it work.
You haven't seen YouTube Jake. I used to be YouTube Jake for jokingly when we'd have to do projects in school, like when we do like our media design. When YouTube Jake gets going, it's efficient. Here's the clip for the YouTube video. Here's the intro. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today on 2 Average Husbands, we are going to be setting up Kyle's office garage. And then I just turn it off, and then I'll pick like a random 5-minute segment that we'll put together later.
Yeah.
The YouTube video will get thrown together. A lot of clickbait. A lot of explosions. Danny putting an explosion. Danny's my editor. I don't have an editor, or I don't actually know a person named Danny.
Danny in the background. You got the clip edit, right? Oh yeah, he's got it. Yeah, we're good.
You just see it. We just put the fire emoji on the screen and like wiggle it around. It'll be great. High quality content. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, that's awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun time. And Kyle's like, why would somebody come across the country to help you move? Because it's infinitely better than being in Illinois.
So 2 things. Yes, 100% true. Second thing, we need to convince Dane that it's actually worthwhile to stay, because I'm moving right around 4th of July time frame. So I'm trying to convince the boys just to hang out and have a good time for 4th of July as well.
I'll be there for the 4th. I don't.
So yeah, we're trying to figure that out. But anyway, we're gonna have a good time.
I'll be there to kick me out, honestly.
Even though we're moving and moving blows, we're gonna have, I'll do the traditional, like the thing that everybody hates when like your friends are like, hey, will you come help me move? I'll give you a couple beers and some pizza. That's what I'm gonna do for these guys too. So don't worry. I'm gonna provide some
I need.
lunch.
I'm gonna
and
need some
beer.
Bud Light sodas and a cheeseburger. Can we compromise on the beer and pizza?
Dane promised me, spoiler alert, a homecoming gift or a housewarming gift of a beer fridge. So I'll just stock that bad boy full of Bud Light next.
I can tell you what that beer fridge is gonna look like. It's
Yep.
that one right there that he
That
got
one
me for a
right there.
housewarming present. So
Exactly right.
it's a solid fridge. It's adjustable. It's got lights. You can add more lights to it if you want.
Dude, I'm stoked.
Goes
You have
pretty
no
hard.
idea. I am like my new house is fucking optimal for me. I love it. I'm super excited about moving. I have some things that are not ideal about my current situation, and so I'm excited to start fresh out there and get some stuff going. So
Yeah. Carly points out you have an In-N-Out super close to the new house.
super close. And
All the
I feel like-
cheeseburgers you could ever ask for on us, Carly says. I feel like that's also because I'm bringing Carly a bunch of candles. I feel like that's part of the bribe that I'm
did
getting
make
there.
Jake promised that this morning. For everybody else that's not me, Jake or Carly, Jake came to visit in Arizona, he
And
brought-
anybody who's listened to those episodes, aka probably Uncle Kyle. I don't know if Toronto Dave was listening at that point, but that candle
true.
right there.
It is the candle right behind Jake, where his thumb is / now pointer finger. He brought us one of those. Carly fell in love. Great smelling candle. She tried to order some from Illinois from the person that makes those, and they were going to charge $50 for shipping.
For
And
clarity,
so,
it's not necessarily them charging that much for shipping. It's USPS because of
I don't know
the
if
weight
that's
and the
crazy but true,
boxes
yeah.
or anything. But yeah,
Either
so
way, now Jake is going to be our mule, and
Facts.
he's going to transport out some candles for my wife. When
I may or may not have Googled how many candles can I bring on an airplane. I'm just saying.
which should be unlimited, right? I mean, as long as
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't see any reason why not.
I brought 2 last time. No, I think so.
Just one.
Maybe.
It's just one. Yeah, it's just the one.
I think you're right.
Dave, In-N-Out is good as opposed to what Uncle Kyle is saying. I think Five Guys is better. I think In-N-Out does one thing and one thing well, and that is the burger, and that's it. The fries are terrible. Straight trash. Don't eat their fucking fries. They're gross.
Apparently, you got to get them well done.
That
you
might
order 'em
help.
well
I don't
done, it
know.
might help. I
Animal
don't
style
know.
doesn't help. I know everybody's always like, get the animal style secret menu, bro. And they're not good. They're trash. It's just shitty fries covered in fucking American sliced cheese melted. It's trash.
I think I went into In-N-Out last time with too much of a negative perception already in my head about it. I think I need to like come in. I'm gonna go in blind. I'm gonna reset my memory bank on it and give it another college try. But yes, In-N-Out's wildly overrated. Sorry, West Coast fans.
Five Guys is better. That's a fact.
Confirmed.
Five Guys is better. Their fries also aren't great. I think fast food places in general do fries way better than like your
Fast
non-fast
casual.
food burger joints. Yeah, like In-N-Out
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
speaking
Smash
of,
Burger's
Jack in the
fries
Box-
suck too.
Jack in the Box underrated. Underrated French fries.
I've underrated everything. If
Jack
you
in the Box is
so part of the 6.5 hour drive out to Ohio, I was listening to a bunch of podcasts and I was listening to Bussin' with the Boys, and they had Bert Kreischer on and they did like a tier list of burger joints. I'm saying this now and realizing it was Carl's Jr. that he was talking about, not Jack in the Box, but the Carl's Jr. $5
Impressive.
burger apparently hits.
I'm really sad that Uncle Kyle is coming in the chat to say Whataburger as an Iowa resident.
Whataburger is ass.
Whataburger's fine.
Sonic though, yes, Carly.
Sonic has
Sonic!
been really impressing us recently. Oh, speaking of, they have these random ass fucking Red Bull slushies now, which I went and got one at the Sonic that's closest to my house the other day. Fucking fire. I added
Sonic-
a pump of coconut flavor, delicious.
Ooh.
And then we went to a different Sonic wanting the same exact product, right? We're like, oh, that was great. We got to get another one. And there was a different one where we were at. Disgusting. It was like water mush nastiness. So Sonic is hit and miss and depends on the location. But
No, David is Hardee's
God.
and Carl's Jr.
damn it. These darn Canadians in the chat not knowing fast food.
It's
Don't
fine.
you know what American means?
What is
We're all
Bebop's?
about-
The fuck
I
is
have no idea what
Bebop's?
Bebop's is. I don't know.
The only burger I've ever had in Iowa is we went to Zombie Burger, which was
Okay.
pretty cool.
Zombie Burger is delicious in Des Moines. Yes, 100%. But Iowa is not about burgers. Iowa is about, so they have quality
Corn.
meat. Yes, quality meat. Yes,
Corn.
made rights.
it's not
Iowa will
it's not
fuck up
just
a Maid
Iowa.
Rite.
It's not just Iowa. It's like the Illinois-Iowa border. I'm just saying.
Maid rights. Maid rights
For
are
anybody
all over Iowa.
who doesn't know what a Maid Rite is, you take ground beef and you put it on a bun.
Dude, fuck off.
It's
Don't
delicious.
listen to
It's
this
still
kid.
delicious. I grew up on them. I love
Okay, here's the
them.
weird thing. There's like some I saw one of those stupid like BuzzFeed articles or whatever one time that was like the weirdest food from every state. And one of them was Iowa does what they call loose meat sandwiches. And I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've
That's the
ever fucking
worst thing you could
It's a
name you could
Maid
call
Rite.
that.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking Maid Rite.
No, Dave,
Not
it's
a
not a
sloppy
sloppy
Joe.
Joe.
It's
And I
different.
also, Dave wants us to call back to his previous comment, which is on Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake is still the GOAT drunk restaurant because they don't
don't-
close.
I'm 90% sure I've never had steak and shake in my life.
You're missing out, but kind of not all at the same time. Like, you have to be, if you're really drunk, Steak and Shake hits fucking different. If you're not drunk, you're like, I only spent $5 on this burger. I expected it to not be phenomenal, but it's also
And-
pretty solid.
I do have to stand slightly corrected, and I'll say this is a 50-50 split. Iowa has amazing Maid Rites and pork tenderloins.
Yeah, the pork tenderloins do hit different.
They do hit different.
The best
Somebody
biscuits and
ever offers
gravy.
you a grilled pork tenderloin, fucking flip them the bird and be like, give me the fried shit, you asshole.
But that's not necessarily true because the grilled one's still delicious.
Nope,
But
go away.
the best food that I've ever had in Iowa is still biscuits and gravy. I don't know what you Iowans do to your gravy,
B&G,
but
baby.
y'all fuck it, make it hit
man.
so different.
Yeah, delicious.
I've
Pork
always
tenderloins,
been chasing
If
it.
you ever find yourself, which you probably shouldn't, and I don't recommend it, in Waterloo, Iowa, there's a place called Newton's Cafe in their downtown area that makes a fire tenderloin. Delicious.
Love me some tenderloin. White Castle is better than Steak and Shake. Now we're coming with the disrespect, and I love it.
That might be like maybe the worst steak ever, Uncle Kyle. I don't know, but
White Castle?
is trash.
One time we had a party at our house and they tried to order Steak and Shake on Grubhub or Uber Eats, one of them. And like they didn't put in the order in time and the Steak and Shake like stopped taking like online orders essentially at a certain point. And so they ordered a Crave case and didn't tell anybody. They walked outside to get their food. I'm like, "Oh, the Steak and Shake is here." They walked back in with a Crave case. I went to bed. I was like, "Nope. This is when I'm done."
Yeah, drunk food, Uncle Kyle, is a different standard of food because
Yes.
the In-N-Out burger is this, or the fucking White Castle burger is this thin. The meat is
That's-
basically non-existent. They just have some fucking bun that they melted some meat onto.
That's why it's the best drunk food though, is because you're eating so much bread that that you're not hungover. You're like sober by the time you fall asleep.
Dude, the worst part is that they managed to market that into like a frozen food too, where you can go get the White
Bro,
Castle.
the
frozen
ones that you
burgers.
get in the store are better than the ones at the White Castle.
I don't know if that's true. I think they're all bad. but
They
maybe.
suck, but I had like my parents gave me a case not too long ago, like the 12 pack that you get at the store. You throw those bitches in the air fryer.
Air fryer, huh? Dude, everything in the air fryer seems to be pretty decent.
It's pretty solid.
Also, Dave, yes, Wendy's is good. I used to live right next to a Wendy's and can attest to the fact that Wendy's is a sneaky good. Jake and I have also had this conversation on a different episode. If you want to go back far enough, we've talked about fast food joints specifically, and maybe even burger joints specifically.
We're gonna revisit it again. We're gonna have Tony from one of the guys that I write with, the guy who hosted this weekend, and we're gonna redo some of our food takes with Tony's input on it. So keep an eye out for that in the future episode. But also go back and watch the previous episode where we did rate fast food restaurants.
You did do that. All right, let's rate these beers and let's move on.
8.1.
7.3.
We both got some high scores.
This is a good mead.
I love.
Let me tell
mead.
you, mead is an underrated beverage of the world.
Agreed. I would rather drink mead than a glass of wine at this point in my life. If I'm let me add a reclarification in there. Sweet wine, like if I'm just like having something to sip on, I'd rather have mead than wine. Like with a meal, I'd still rather have wine.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I didn't even know Portillo's sold burgers for Uncle Kyle.
They're charbroiled. I'm not a charbroiled guy. Not a fan. A lot of people really do swear by them
don't
though.
like Burger King.
I don't like the Whopper,
Flame.
but But if you get like just like the bacon cheeseburgers that are on their dollar menu now, they're pretty solid.
Yeah, the rodeo burger, throwback to Burger King back in the day. They'd do barbecue sauce, onion rings on a burger. Delicious.
I can never not think of the BK Lounge. I got them coops, baby. That old probably stolen Dane Cook sketch.
I think I have another mead in my fridge, and I feel like I should pair those together on this episode, and I grabbed the wrong thing, so let me see. I'll be right back.
All right, I will take this time to introduce my beer. Kyle won't get to hear about it, so everybody who's listening right now, you get to be the ones to hear about it. But I'm keeping with the birthday theme, so I'm going Transient Artisan Ales, their Sprankle Sour Ale, which is peach, apricot, strawberry, milk sugar, and vanilla, coming in at 7.5%. As everybody knows, Transient is my favorite brewery in the entire world, and nobody's come close to matching them yet.
Belching Beaver.
We'll see.
What I
But-
didn't realize is this is actually from the same meadery, so go ahead and finish, and then I do have another one.
That's really all I have. I'm about to crack it open. I'm just
All right,
saying,
perfect.
Transient Artisan Ales, the GOAT.
Superstition, the session meadery, Dune Bloom, which is, if you know anything about Tucson or really just Arizona in general, prickly pear is a huge thing. So
delicious.
people love to make prickly pear everything, but this one's a carbonated prickly pear mead. So not a honey mead, which does that even work? Or is
It's
there
still
honey in
it's
here as
still
well?
it's still made with honey. You can't make mead without honey.
Right. That's what I was thinking after I said that out loud.
But yeah,
Oh, by
it's
the way, the last one was exactly 6.9% alcohol, so they knew what
Sex.
they did there.
my first one was 8.5%. This second one is 7.5%. By the random math of people that I saw on TikTok the other day, that means I've had 16.5% alcohol today. Not how it works at all, by the way.
No.
They were like, if I have 2 4% beers, that's more than having one 8% glass of wine.
This one looks more like a seltzer. It doesn't have like the thick additives as the last mead, but
As
give it a shot.
viscous. I'm gonna keep
Not
adding.
viscous.
I'm gonna keep adding big words to the.
Vocabulary lessons for Dave. Look it up. All right, Jake. What's next? What are we talking about? Give me the banta.
Let's see. What do I want to banter about right now?
I'll fill in. The reason that I just said that, Love Island UK. Carly watches it. Now I watch it. It's addicting.
I've not watched
I have to admit it.
a second of that show, of any of the Love Islands for that matter.
That's pretty good. Anyway, yeah, Love Island UK, pretty good. Season 3, pretty good.
You know what Jess and I have been watching a lot recently? Chicago Med. If you haven't watched it, you should. It's very overdramatic.
I'm
Very.
not gonna lie, there's something about British slang that just gets me. It makes me laugh. I think it's hilarious.
We at softball, not last week, but the week prior, I don't know what everybody watched. It must have been like Peaky Blinders or something.
Yeah.
But everybody on my softball team was calling each other bruv.
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 Dude, I don't know what it like it's just the stupidest shit. Like, okay, do you know what a bell end is?
Yeah.
What's a bell end?
It's oh now I'm blanking.
Don't
God.
fucking Google it.
You
I know
put
what
me on
you're
the
doing.
spot.
Okay,
I'm,
so
I'm googling it.
a bell
What?
end.
Oh, it's a penis.
So it's funny when you think about it. If you try to like, mirror those things together. But a bell end, it literally just means dickhead. But people started calling each other bell ends on one of this episode of the UK Love Island, and we were like, "What the fuck is a bell end?" And we googled it. And I started dying, dude.
You're like,
It was
oh,
pretty fucking funny.
that checks. This
That's pretty
brings us
fucking
back to that slang episode. The
Mhm.
number of times I've referenced that episode in relations to conversations I've had in the past like 2 weeks. Because Tony, when we were out there, he got one of those like 100 packs of I call them freezer sticks, but the little like tube
Did you tweet
popsicles.
about this? I think you tweeted about it.
He tweeted about it, yeah.
I saw that. I saw that
And
tweet.
yeah.
I didn't actually respond because I think I have like no real opinion on this. I don't really give a shit. The one that did actually bother me was when people called them Otter Pops when I went to Florida.
It's a brand.
It is a brand, and I
that's
didn't even
why
know
they
that
call it
existed.
that.
Like that wasn't a thing where I lived growing
Yeah.
up. So they're like, it's an Otter Pop, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I finally saw Otter Pops in the store, and I was like, oh, okay, it's like Kleenex, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't have a real opinion on what you should call them because I don't even remember. I feel like they were just like an unlabeled red bag
Mhm.
in Iowa, you know?
That's what I was saying. We always got the bags, so they never had a brand on them.
Mm-hmm.
We called them freezer sticks because you freeze them
I think we just call
and
them
they're
freezer
shaped like
pops.
a stick. That was a very common one. Apparently in Australia they call them freezies. Dave says that's what they call them in Canada too, which also is when my brain when we were kids for whatever reason we would never call ices ices. We would call them freezies. So when I hear freezy, my brain goes to that, which they're really not that far apart.
Yeah.
If
I
you
suppose.
smashed up like 9 of them into a cup, you'd be like, oh, I have an icy now.
Dave, I'm gonna need you to throw some Canada slang in the chat and give me a good giggle because I feel like there has to be some good.
There's got to be some fire Canada slang. In fact, I know there is. Like even when you're talking hockey, there's a lot of slang that comes from Canada.
Yeah.
What the fuck is an icy? Like a Slurpee? Like you go to 7-Eleven,
Oh,
like
okay. Well, you spelled it wrong, Dave. It's I
CEE.
E. Ice E. Look it up. It's a brand as well. Icy. Okay. We can talk about this for a second. What is your number one thing when you go to watch a movie in the theater that you must get? Got it.
I only
Other than popcorn. I feel like most people are popcorn people. I don't know, but
I-
outside of popcorn.
only get this at movie theaters. I've never once had this in my life outside of a movie theater. Bunch of Crunch.
Okay.
You take it, you mix it with the popcorn.
I feel like you have to do that with peanut butter M&Ms.
Also sounds like it'd be fire.
But for me, it's an icy.
When we
Every
were
time I've been to the movie theater in my adult life, I've gotten a red, blue, blended icy with popcorn. Every time.
when we were younger, we used to get them all the time. And I'm not a huge like cold sweet thing. Like it's also like I'm not a huge ice cream guy.
I fucking love ice cream.
So I think I just was like my parents would be like you could get the candy or you could get the icy. And I was like let me get the candy.
For whatever reason, when I was a kid growing up, because apparently I've been a grandpa since I was fucking out of the womb.
That math checks.
Dots was my
Dots
my
do hit.
movie candy.
I don't think I've ever gotten them in a movie theater though. But maybe that's
My
because
grandma used
I
to go
would,
buy them at the dollar store and then take them to the movie theater. I didn't like buy them there.
Oh yeah.
She'd just sneak them in for me, you know.
We used to the movie theater that I grew up going to. Shout out Randall 15. Don't ban me. There's a Walmart like literally 2 parking lots over. So we would go to the Walmart. They always had like the dollar candy bin.
Yeah.
We'd get like
yep.
2 or 3 of those, and they never checked. So we would
I
just
remember
load
one
our
time we
pockets up
walked
with
into, like,
candy.
the movie theater like shaking, like the candy was like
Yeah.
shifting in the boxes, you know, and nobody said anything. Still,
Yeah.
I'm a big popcorn bitch though, dude. Like
I
I
am.
have been
So I was
throwing
snacking.
bags of popcorn since I was an infant.
I said it. I was snacking on it before the podcast.
I fucking love popcorn.
I love popcorn too. It's a nice snack if you're cutting, if you're trying to lose weight too. If you get like
I don't
the,
give a shit about that. I
if you just get like Smart Pop, it's pretty
Smart Pop is good.
keeping.
Carly likes Smart Pop. She gets that. It's good stuff.
I also get the Boom Chicka Pop. It's pretty
Chicken
solid.
Pop is good. I judged people for a while because everyone that I ever knew that got Boom Chicka Pop would buy it at Costco,
Yeah.
and so they'd
I've
have
done
these massive bags, and they'd like bring them to work. Like,
Yeah,
these dudes
that's
would, like,
weird.
Walk into work like fucking munch. I was like, "What the fuck are you weirdos doing?" And then I tried it, and I was like, "Okay, that's pretty good. I get it."
Please do the candy smuggle shake, but extra exaggerate. Oh, from when you were like shaking.
Oh, dude, you just like
Just-
walk in. Fucking,
Kyle just truffle shuffling around on the podcast.
yeah, trouble shuffle into the theater. Just, it
But,
was great. Like I think we had it like waistbands and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's always been the candy. But yeah, speaking of that, what's your go-to candy right now?
Well,
It's probably still peanut
you-
butter M&Ms.
It's not. Well, okay. Right now, at this moment, because of accessibility, it's not. Because I had a buddy go out to Hawaii, and Carly, being the awesome wife that
yep.
she is, got me 2 cases of pineapple high chews. So pineapple high chews are probably my go-to right now, just because of accessibility. But peanut butter M&Ms might be my forever candy that I would go to and actually buy.
Mine right
The fact
now.
that Dave keeps saying this shit with the fucking milk chocolate and like he's a Hershey's bitch, it just drives me crazy.
I love it. I love it. I love it because it drives you crazy.
I hate that he's like milk chocolate. Get
Salt,
out of here.
salty and savory are the same thing, Dave. I think that's what. At least that's how my
Yeah,
brain
'cause usually you
always
see it
works.
as like sweet and savory.
I
Right?
think I'm assuming you're saying like salty or like savory over sweet.
I don't know that they are the
but-
same though.
Chocolate zero, white chocolate hazelnut keto bark. Kyle, is that available at Costco because I think I've seen it there and I've considered getting
What is
it
it, sorry?
there.
Chocolate zero
More
white
asking
chocolate
Uncle Kyle.
hazelnut keto bark. Holy fuck, that is a mouthful.
I'm assuming it's available at Costco, but if it's not, I still want to try it because I'm a white chocolate bitch and a
I don't
dark
give a shit
chocolate
about
bitch.
keto, so I would never pick that up and buy it.
Uh,
But
it-
almond bark or like
Usually it just ends up being it's sweetened with not sugar or it's just like made with like a dark chocolate base.
whatever, dude. Dave, the second you step on the podcast to start talking shit about Jake and I's taste in anything, I'm gonna ruin you for your taste in sweets. I'm gonna tear you up because
Dave's
the fact that
gonna
you're saying you want a Cadbury milk chocolate. Get the fuck out of here.
Dave is gonna come on the podcast and be talking about Wendy's burgers, and Kyle's gonna be like, "You like Hershey's?"
You like wax. Fuck off.
Oh man. But back to the original conversation. For me, it's Sour Strips. Like Sour Strips is an actual brand of candy.
Right now, that's your go-to?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's made by Max Tuning, who started as a fitness influencer. He's a YouTuber. Everybody should check out his content. Funny guy.
Don't
Makes
fucking advertise for that in our podcast.
makes
Don't do that.
really no free shout outs, by the way. I need a $10,000 check in the mail, Max. But he makes a clothing brand which I've always really liked called Ever Forward. Some great fitness and lifestyle apparel. But he also has a sour candy company. He's always been like a huge sour candy guy and was always like critiquing what was wrong with sour candy, and so he just fixed it. But he started as like an online only company, so accessibility used to be harder with it because you'd have to order it in the mail. So to like be worth it, you'd order like 24 bags at a time, and then you're like, I'm gonna eat all of this candy right now. But he's now got distribution deals. You can get them in HEBs if those are in your area. I think it's mostly in Texas. You can get them at Target. I think by the end of June or by the end of July, they're going to be in 100% of Target locations. So you'll be able to just go to your local Target and try it out. But it is the best sour candy that I have ever had.
It's weird because I used to really love sour candy as a kid, and I feel like the older I've gotten, the more I've gone away from that. Like there was a part of my life where like Trolley, is it Trolley or Trolley? However you say that word. Their sour gummy worms.
Yeah, I've always said Trolley.
I used to love their sour gummy worms, and now I'm much more of a Haribo gummy bear person.
Yeah, you are,
So
sadly.
I've gone away from like the sours and more, and I used to love like sour Skittles, all that kind of shit. The first day that I got braces on, when I was a kid, I went and bought a bag of sour Skittles. Like right after the orthodontist like had just told me like, don't
eat
fucking
this.
eat anything hard. Don't eat hard candies. Don't eat soft foods for a few days.
And you're like,
And-
that's my sign to do it.
I was like, all right, sweet sour Skittles. So it was dumb. And Dave, I'm glad you like my cat. He's the best.
But yeah, sour strips. Everybody should try them. Head to your Target, pick some up. Tell Max that I sent you so I can get sponsored. I'm not famous
I'll
enough.
give him a shot. I'm just adamantly against like the influencer concept. I think the concept of
wouldn't-
influencer is fucking stupid.
I wouldn't call him like so he was like a fitness YouTuber like when it started before it was like what it is now. Like most of his like fitness related content is like he's sponsored by Ghost Nutrition or Ghost Lifestyle, I should say. So like he'll do some ad reads or not really like ad reads, but like he's always got their stuff, and he like works in collective with some larger fitness brands like Inaka Power and Alpha Elite. So he's like in the fitness space, but he's not like a fitness influencer. Like his content is a lot more down to earth. He's also like, I want to say he's 30, 31 or 32, like somewhere in that range. So he's like an older guy. He's not like this 18-year-old on SARMs who's like, he's also like a power lifter, not a bodybuilder. So like his physique is not like in a t-shirt. He's no more impressive than you or I look, but like
Pretty unimpressive right now.
he deadlifts 700 pounds. Like he's just like, he's just an interesting guy. And I've always liked his personality and his content. So that's like why I'm comfortable like shouting him out just
Okay.
because I do
Alright,
think
shout out to homeboy.
shout out to Max Tuning,
Max Tuning.
Just
Sour
started-
strips.
actual
Brand,
sour
or whatever
candy.
The fuck you said.
Ever Forward. Close.
Yeah, I got it. That's close.
Best joggers I've ever had. You can try them out. I'll bring a pair
I
for
do
you to.
like joggers.
I'll bring a pair
was-
just for you to sample because I still need to take them home because they're kind of expensive, but you can sample them.
I'm one of those people that like I'll hate trends just because they're trends. Like joggers, I hated for a really long time, and then I got a pair of joggers, and I was like, okay, I get it. They were right.
I feel like I've worn joggers my whole life because in high school I wore them, but we called them soccer pants because they were like only made by Adidas.
Yeah.
Soccer players
Yeah,
would be the only one to wear them.
Tracksuits.
But they're no different. They're no different than what joggers
Just
are
a little
now.
shorter than tracksuits, kind of.
It depends. I
For the
say that
record,
as I'm
one
wearing.
trend that I will never get around, by the way, is like capri, like pants, like short pants for men. Nah, ain't for me. Bro.
I mean, I'm wearing joggers that are basically capris right now.
So there's a difference. Like joggers will at least like ride the ankle, right? But like I've seen a lot of pants now that are like 4, 5, 6 inches above the ankle. Nah, bro.
This is how much space I have above my ankle to the pant right
Nah,
now.
I ain't doing that. Dumb.
Well,
Don't believe it.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's nice to have a chill episode where I don't have to think about topics for once.
Dave, I too am anti-branding, which except for the meeting room.
Huge branding guy.
There is/was a large period of my life where if there was like a logo for a brand on the shirt, I wouldn't even wear it.
Same, actually. Like, I probably from probably the time I was 19 till about 23 or 24, I think I only wore like black, gray, white t-shirts.
I wore black V-necks for maybe 3 years straight.
That's true. I remember
Nothing
that
but
phase.
Black V-necks.
I was like, oh, look, Kyle's wearing a black V-neck again.
I must have circled back to that in like my time knowing you because I'm talking like pre-knowing you. Like I used
Or
to
no. It wasn't black V-necks. It was always white V-necks. You would always just
I
like,
still do that.
you would be on the podcast and I'm like, I can see your chest inserts. Like your shirt's too low.
Dude, fucking my white V-necks are clutch game, dude. Like they're the most comfy.
I don't
fucking
own a
shoes to put
V-neck
on at night.
anymore. I don't own one.
I'm gonna gift you some white V-necks for some nighttime teas.
And then you're gonna get like the weirdest Snapchats of me just in white V-necks.
Hanes model. Actually, it's oh, I'm gonna blank on it now. God damn it.
No Googling. You said I couldn't
I'm
Google.
not gonna Google. Gildan.
There we go.
Some Gildan tees. There we go.
Them old
It
Gildans,
was like
boy.
I think it was Blake Shelton did like the fucking ad, or one of the country stars did it and like said it in like this ridiculous accent. It was like
I have to.
Gildan. Get you some Gildan.
Country Star Gildan ad. I have to know. I have to know who this was. Yeah, it was Blake Shelton. You're right.
Oh, brilliant.
The craziest part about this is the first website that came up is like just a random iSpot TV link. And the Twitter, he answers a tweet from a Twitter user whose name is @Kyle. It's just numbers. But it's just like, it's one of those like, is Google watching?
Gildan.
Google, you watching?
Okay. I first read Uncle Kyle's comment as uncomfortable as fuck, and I was like, dude, you just like disgraced the world. But yeah, comfortable as fuck. Sorry that it was too small. I just made a judgment call. That brand though that I sent you guys both is the same brand as Meeting Room does for their t-shirts. And Carly bought some t-shirts for that. I'd have to look at the tag and figure out what it is, but they make the most comfortable freaking t-shirts ever. It's crazy.
Real talk here, while I have a few minutes left on the podcast. What are the odds you guys can make a t-shirt for me for Jess for me?
For what?
She wanted to like get me a shirt with a specific saying on it for my birthday.
Yes.
And like can't find just the shirt, so would have to like custom do it. All right, I'll have Jess text Carly. Perfect.
You text her or text me, whatever, and I'll pay for it for your birthday because I will pay my wife to make it
Nice.
for the labor/materials.
Speaking of that, get us to 100 subs on YouTube so I can make Kyle make his wife make you a t-shirt.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is Jake offered it, even though it's my labor, because I actually made the 2 Average Husbands tees. Carly taught me how to use her thing that makes t-shirts. Yeah, whenever people want to follow us and appreciate the 2 Average Husbands, I'll send out a t-shirt for free.
I'm just saying, once we get to 100 subs, things get real interesting on the
I feel
YouTube
like
channel.
that number's gone lower. Like I feel like we started at 250 subs.
We
now we're at
100%
100,
started at 250,
which is
but
fine. So give us 100 subs, and we'll send you a t-shirt.
we also haven't promoted this podcast as much as we probably could,
That's
which
true.
I think is part of it.
And we've talked about this before, but that's not the goal anyway. Like I'm here just to have beer and have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Promotion and money, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit.
And hold on. Except for any brands we shout out, we'll take a check in the mail. I'll put our PO box in the chat.
I would take a promo from like companies that I believe in. I will, okay, and I would promise this to like the viewers as well, like anybody that listens to this. I don't even care if this became like the biggest podcast in the world. I would never sell out and like preach a brand that I don't believe in.
Oh, 1,000%. Like all of the people who shout out these like random NFTs for $1 million, like
Yeah.
that would, I would love $1 million right now. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, dude, fucking Meeting Room is like the only company that I would like shout out right now.
Oh, I'd shout out a lot of companies, but I need their product. I need their product first. I need to try it and make sure I don't hate it.
You fucking yeah. Okay, fair. I guess there are some other things that I believe.
I've got-
shout out, but
All right, that's what we're gonna start next week's episode with. We're gonna preempt a topic. Kyle, I'm gonna need you to think of 10 brands that you would, without question, shout out their stuff.
okay.
And we're gonna both come with 10 brands. Doesn't have to be in any specific order, but 10 brands that you, for not even for money, but I guess it could be for money, but like just to have some of their product given to you for free. 10 brands you would shout out.
As we like start that topic on the next podcast or whatever, though, we need to like send a tweet from our account and be like, "Hey, we're shouting all of you motherfuckers out right now because we believe in your products. Send me money."
Oh, 1,000%.
So,
Bro,
Dave,
send me a t-shirt. Like I said,
Dave, the money's on the table. I will 100% have the same stance. I don't give a shit about money for a podcast. I'm here to have a good time. But
facts.
Sony and Wendy's are his. That's pretty funny.
Hey, that's a good start. I can't lie. I do a
I'll
lot
come
of
up
things
with a
for
list,
for a bunch of free junior bacon cheeseburgers. I do a lot of weird shit.
Well, that's all right. That's fair. All right, we have officially run out of time. We filled that with a good bit of banter, as the British would say.
It's fun every once in a while just to have an episode where we don't have to like think of these like thought-provoking or at least fun topics.
yeah,
We can just like
yeah.
shoot
Just
whatever
fuck
comes
around. This is
off
what
the
birthday
rip.
episodes are for.
Yeah, they're vibey.
You lose sight of it, but happy birthday to Jake again.
I'm 27. Maybe I can finally afford a sweater that isn't older than me and ripped to shreds, but it's still the favorite one that I've ever
No,
had.
those are the best, man. The ones that last the lifetime.
Bro, this is literally my dad got this shit in like the 80s.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
great.
still
That's
thriving.
fantastic. You might
No,
need
it's
to,
not thriving.
Eventually, throw some stitches in that bad boy. Thank
There's
you,
a
Dave.
lot of holes.
Congratulations, appreciate you.
Yes, shout out to Kyle. Shout out to me for turning 27 first and foremost. Probably the most important thing.
It is
Definitely
the most
not Kyle
important thing.
buying a house. That's definitely not important.
It's not at all. Not compared to the birthday. The birthday is what matters.
Hey man, it feels good to be old.
Yeah, well, I'm older than you, so
But you're by a year for like a little bit.
it's weird because like the overlap with me and you is the same essentially as me and my brother. My brother is a year and a half older than me, and spends like we are a year apart most
For-
of the year. And
yeah.
then, it's weird. But anyway, all right. This has been another episode of the Two Average Husbands podcast. It's been great. My final beer is a 7.1. It's pretty
Ooh,
dang good.
Just
It's
a
not gonna be-
little lower.
It's good. It is good. I like mead. Jake, what's yours?
Mine's a lot lower, sadly. It's a 6.8. Still good, but it's more of like I was expecting more of a fruited sour. To me, it's more of like a traditional sour with some fruit.
Okay.
Not as great, but definitely still. I wish it was 85 degrees right now and I was sitting on my porch. Then I'd probably give it a 9.2.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my cat who has sat in my lap for the last half of this episode. He's a homie. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at Kyle and Herson. As you can see, for whatever reason, the @ symbol is missing. That's okay. And for Jake, it's at Perry_FF now because he's a fantasy football fucking guy. He
Hey,
got
man.
invited to the Scott Fish Bowl, which you didn't even talk about.
I did get invited to Scott Fish Bowl. So shout out to Scott Fish for not only inviting me to the event, but for putting on one of the craziest fantasy football events that happens every single year. Couldn't be more stoked to be a part of it this year. And, maybe Kyle will be involved enough in the fantasy football community one of these years to at least apply for it.
I'll never promote myself enough to try to do that. But anyway, shout out to Scott Fish, doing great things for the community, and inviting Jake is great too. A lot of our friends are getting to be a part of that this year, which is great. Okay, anyway, at number 2 AVG Husbands on Instagram, Twitter, and you can find us on Facebook as well. One of these days, if we get the followership that requests it, we'll start using the Discord. It exists. We built that for people that don't like YouTube, whatever. We're happy to use it. Just not a lot of people that aren't using YouTube that are using Discord. Anyway, if it becomes a need, we'll use it. Other than that, check out our link tree. It's in both of our personal social medias and on all of the Two Average Husbands social media, so you can find Two Average Husbands all over the fucking place. All of your favorite podcast places, yada, blah, 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 blah. Lots of talky. Two Average Husbands is great. On to you, Jake. Close.
Yes, as Kyle said, thank you everybody for tuning into the episodes. We love the live engagement as always. We love seeing the comments after the fact as well. We love seeing people enjoying our content. So just keep it up. Share it with your friends. If you guys like it, hopefully your friends do too. As always, we will be back with yet another episode coming hopefully next week, unless, life.
Yeah, next week.
Perfect.
No, we should be good.
I just want to make sure. Sometimes
Things are happening. We're
Yeah.
moving.
shit gets busy for a while.
Speaking of
We're-
Neville, for all the viewers that are like, regular folks to listen to the podcast, there will be some sort of a time period where I just like don't have internet because of moving, which is when we will try to do some like vloggy shit via mobile or whatever. But yeah,
We'll make something happen. We'll figure it out.
yeah, for sure.
We'll get some hotspots going. It's gonna get weird.
Hotspot.
But thank you all for tuning in. We will see you all next week. And as always, make sure you tell somebody that you love them.
Peace.